August 10th at 11:55 p.m. So we are max cozy in bed, just laying here recording. I have been not really sure what to talk about, and maybe that's kind of one of the issues. I always sort of start something and never really finish it. It's a big problem. One of my biggest issues is I'll have an idea and I'll think it's good at first, and then I will just sort of like pass on it, or I will become like highly uninterested in it. One of my favorite YouTubers, Shitty Kickflips, on her secondary channel, which is a big inspiration for this, talked about this, where it's like you can't really tell anybody about a thing that you're working on because you have like a time frame to finish it at that point, and that time frame gets really, really small. Like she was talking about it's like 3 weeks. For me, it's like 2 days sometimes, and then I'm just like, I'll think about it and I'll talk about it, and I'm just like, God, finishing it becomes such a chore. I don't know. I'm not really a creature of ambition. I never have been. I'm kind of a creature of whim, and that leads to a lot of learning a little bit about a lot of things and being able to sort of like, I can pass on that knowledge and I can use it to inform my opinions and change how I look at things. But I unfortunately never really gain mass levels of expertise in things, and it makes me a little sad. Sometimes I will do things for years and I will be like okay at them. I might even be pretty good, but I never become what I would consider impressive. And now maybe that's a standards thing, maybe that's my problem, but it does make me feel, I don't know if insecure is the word, but that definitely has something, there's something like that at play. It's something that I have tried to work on a lot, especially in the past couple of years. I have really made attempts to find things I care about, but frankly, it's hard. Being a creature of whim tends to mean that like commitment to something I think I care about without not necessarily outside encouragement, but without a sort of like other to be a guide or be like a compatriot or be a partner, it becomes kind of a futile effort. There is a push and pull between the need to express yourself for yourself and the need to be there for an audience, or like to have an audience to express yourself to. If no one is trying to understand you, if no one's trying to get you, how can you ever hope to like for whatever you make, for your art, for your music, for your art holistically, to like do anything, even if you made it for yourself to express something, if nobody ever connects with it, that is such a hard thing. And I don't really feel that sort of like drive of purpose where I know how to connect either with other people or like give something to them, or like something I want enough where it's like, hey, this is something I think is cool. You'll love it too. I do that sometimes with people like I really care about. I want them to care about the things I love. There are a couple of things that I think are like really true expressions of love that are unspoken. One of which is food related. I'm big on food when it comes to that, where it's a matter of if you get somebody food and they either didn't ask for it or it's sort of like hey, do you want something to eat just out of nowhere, especially for me, that's a big like tell, frankly. I'm big on the expression of like you should show the people you care about that you care about them in very small ways. The other thing is when people go out of their way to try to like a thing that you like, or to like, they want to understand why you love something. I think that means something to me. It expresses something that is, it's like a curiosity of a personhood. And it's something that like I think I sorely lack sometimes. And when I feel it, it's like wonder. It makes me feel real, for lack of a better term. I think that I've never really known what I want. Or I do know what I want, but society and the way that other people structure their lives are so anathema to things that I care about that it causes a lot of friction with other people. And I never really get to the point where I get to express my real desires. And that frustrates me on a level I'm not sure I can really describe. And that's like a me problem. But it adds to the feeling of not knowing what to do with myself, basically at all times. When I was a little younger, I was a crier, especially when I was a child. My parents kind of admonished me for that. They really didn't like it. They called me whiny and a crybaby, and they told me to grow up. I was pretty young when that was the case. I don't blame them. It was how they felt they should deal with it. But I don't know, it had a lasting effect on me. I've always been pretty emotional. When I was 27-ish, boy, we're gonna reveal some things about my age. I stopped being able to cry altogether, pretty much. I went through some shit. It hardened me pretty badly. And it made me feel like I couldn't express emotion except for rage. And that rage became a sort of background radiation. It was always there, no matter what I did. I suffered from rage. I suffered from rage, and I suffered from testosterone. All the classic things that you think of when it comes to like what it does to a person, the way it warps your face, the way it makes you need, the way it makes you randy, for lack of a better term, for horny, I don't know what I should say in a video like this, but yeah, it sucked, and the truth is that estrogen saved my life. I don't feel any of that background rage. My personhood is so different. The way that I express emotions is different. I feel closed off a lot of the time, because it just feels like it's hard to talk to people. I think that we are at a point where being earnest is reserved, either for people who are mired in a type of speech where they're not willing to really give up themselves because being earnest is a performance, or they are terrified of showing themselves because any sort of refutation is a slight against them. I definitely fall into the second camp, but I'm trying. It's very difficult to be that way. And it's difficult to be earnest. But I think with the rise of the way, xenophobia, with the rise of fascism, with the rise of inauthenticity as a road to success, which has happened for years and years and years, I think, despite it maybe not being worth anything, I think holding close the people you care about and offering them yourself in as much as you can is maybe the most worthwhile thing anyone can do. It unfortunately requires trust, and it requires a give and take between both people, and that's difficult, to say the least. And it's not just both people, it can be groups, it can be communities, it can be, families. But I think that despite my own need to compartmentalize my thoughts and who I am and deal with people and different spaces through modern habits of like code switching and altering myself, I think that maybe we need to be more true.